This screencast will help you to write a compare and contrast essay in block format. Looking at numbers 1 through 7, these are the steps we will use in order to generate some ideas, create an outline, and then actually write the essay. Step number 1, select a topic to compare and contrast. This may be an assigned topic from a teacher, or it may be a topic that you get to choose. If it is a topic that you get to choose something that you have some knowledge about, but may also need to do some research with. Step number 2, once you have your topic, is to choose 3 areas that share similarities but have some differences for the topic. For instance, our topic was comparing 6th and 7th grade, and we then chose 3 topics: friends, independent reading, and technology, as our 3 ones that have some similarities but also have some differences. Step number 3 is to create an outline. So we'll take our topic and we'll take our 3 areas and we'll organize those together into a format that makes sense. If we are going to stay in the block format, it's very important that numbers 2 and 3 are the same. When we look at 6th grade, we talk about making new friends, independent reading, and technology. Then when we go to 7th grade, we also talk about making new friends, independent reading, and technology. Notice that A, B, and C in both 6th and 7th grade stay in the same order. This is the order that they will appear in your paragraph. Now, if you have your own choice, you need to think about what 3 areas that you will talk about for your topic, and again, those would remain in the same order. Organization is key. When we begin our introduction, we are looking for attention grabbers, some way that you can get the attention of the audience. That could be through a short story, a question, a quote, some statistics, or using the words imagine or think to help put the audience into your essay. We then have a thesis statement. This statement is going to tell us exactly what the paper is going to be about. Let's scroll down and we'll take a look at an introduction. Okay, remember in our introduction we said we wanted some attention grabbers. In this one, I'm going to use a short story as well as a couple of questions. Read along with me. For a moment, think back to your first day of 6th grade. This statement is kind of like the imagine or think. It takes the reader right back to when they were in 6th grade. You are getting off a bus, being dropped off by your parents, or walking from your house. Your mind is racing a mile a minute. There are many questions going through your head. Will I be in the same classes as people from my old school? Will I be able to make new friends? Will I be able to get my locker open? Will the teachers be mean or nice? Will there be a lot of homework? So that series of questions, for each person that reads your essay, will take them back to different memories of when they were in 6th grade. Continuing on, as I think back to that first day of school, I remember being very nervous. In the green, this is going to be our thesis statement. This is going to tell us what the entire paper is going to be about. And it says, while I was very nervous in 6th grade, I am much more confident now in terms of making new friends, improving my reading skills, and using different forms of technology. Notice I put in my 3 areas: making new friends, improving my reading skills, and different forms of technology. Okay, those are in the exact same order as they appear in my outline. Let's take a look at the actual body paragraphs. Number 2 in the outline and number 3 in the outline are 6th and 7th grade. As we begin, we want to start off with a nice topic sentence. Go into our first area, use a transitional word like besides. Go into our second area and use another transitional word in addition to for our next area. Then, if we can put in a final sentence that wraps up the entire paragraph and brings it together, that would be ideal. So let's look at this paragraph together. When 6th grade began, it was hard because I was not the type of person who made friends easily. If you continue reading, this paragraph then talks about friends. The next paragraph, or part of the paragraph, begins with a transitional word, besides. Besides making new friends. Notice I built on the part up above, and now with this comma, I'm going to continue. Another part of 6th grade was that I was uncomfortable with choosing and reading books on my own. And then this part goes into my independent reading. Notice we're keeping the block format all in one large paragraph, but those transitional words are how we, the reader, know that the person who is writing this is changing areas. So our next transitional word in the first paragraph, in addition to making friends and finding some interesting books, comma, I also struggled with the amount of new technology the teachers made us try. This little part of the paragraph now is all about technology. Then our final sentence, or my final sentence, overall in 6th grade I gained some new friends, began to read more, and learned how to be patient when using the technology. So again, in this last sentence I try to get in my 3 areas: friends, independent reading, and technology. So now I'm ready to move to my paragraph on the 7th grade year, or my second part of the topic. So I begin with a nice transitional phrase here, compared to 6th grade, and then I add in how this current year is going. I have been much more confident this year. As you can see, they're color-coded again. At the beginning of the year, I immediately saw many of the friends I made in 6th grade. I'm going to talk about my friends first. In the same way, in 6th grade, I talked about my friends to begin. In my 7th grade paragraph, I'm going to use a transitional word here, another. Another part of 7th grade that is going really well this year is independent reading. Notice I kept that in the same order as well, independent reading. And finally, and I actually used the transitional word finally there, this is going to talk about technology in 7th grade. And you can see in my 6th grade block, technology was my third area as well. I want to put in a concluding sentence if possible. So right now my sentence reads, so far this year in 7th grade, I feel like I have learned many new things with technology. I have kept old and made new friends, and have continued to enjoy reading from my favorite author. Now notice I changed them up down here, the order of the areas, and I think that's okay because at least I mentioned them, but I like the way it sounds because I ended with technology and then just kind of put the other 2 in there in terms of wording. And finally, our conclusion. The conclusion can be kind of short. It needs to do 2 things. Letter A here, it says it should be a reminder of both sides. And B, we have some kind of quote or short story or catchy ending that's going to have the audience remembering what you talked about. Okay, this should not simply be the 2 words, the end. So we want to find a better way to do that. So we will scroll down and we'll take a look at my conclusion. And I'm going to use kind of a short story again. And I'm going to say 6th grade was a little bit intimidating for me. As the year went on and I met new people, I became more relaxed. As I look back on 6th grade, I see the most important parts were when I started to make new friends and when I discovered a book that I enjoyed. 7th grade has also been filled with fun times. I have a lot of friends this year, enjoy reading, and I'm getting much better when using technology. Okay, so those few sentences just kind of recap or summarize or put together all the main points that I'm trying to talk about in my 2 big block paragraphs. Then the last part said that we need a catchy line or a quote to end this. Okay, so I went online and I just typed in quotes about life. Okay, I found one that I liked and I think fits in pretty well with the sentences that I have typed here. And I have written, whether or not it was 6th grade or 7th grade this year, I believe Cesar Pavese said it best. Quote, we do not remember days, we remember moments. So as you go into finish writing and looking at your compare and contrast essay in block format, okay, I guess I would like you to remember a couple things. Okay, we generate some ideas. We select a topic. Once we have that topic, we're going to try and find 3 areas for each one. We then put together an outline so that when we go to make our essay, we have a roadmap, we have some direction, we have an idea of what we want to say in very, very simple words. Notice here, these are not complete sentences. Okay, they are very short ideas about what we want to talk about. Then as we go into writing, remember our introduction all stays together, one paragraph. It's got some attention grabbers. It's got a thesis statement. And because we're in block format, our body paragraph is going to be big. This is one paragraph. Okay, and the way that we keep track of things and separate is these transitional words. So we have area 1, transitional word, area 2, transitional words, concluding sentence. Then it's time to start another paragraph. So this would be the third paragraph. We have a good topic sentence, first area, transitional word, second area, transitional word, third or final area, concluding sentence. In our conclusion, this would be our fourth paragraph. We begin with a few sentences that summarize the two topics, in this case a little bit about 6th grade, a little bit about 7th grade, and either a catchy line or some kind of good ending to let the audience know that we are at the end of the essay, or if you give this as a speech, the end of the speech. Please ask if you have any questions. Good luck and happy writing.